20 years ago today, the Atlanta Falcons used the first overall pick in 2001 in the draft to select Virginia Tech quarterback Michael Vick. Now, with just 8 days before the 2021 draft kicks off, let's go back in time, guys, and hit up the Hall of Fame. That's right, it's a very special draft edition. I didn't give you guys many specifications here. Whatever was that moment for you, the moment that needs to be in the NFL Draft Hall of Fame. What are the nominations? Only one can make it.
I'm going to go recent history. We had this great quarterback draft a couple years ago where it was Baker Mayfield, and then it was Sam Darnold, then it was Josh Allen, and then Josh Rosen went 10th, and then it was like, is Lamar Jackson going to go in the first round? Is he going to go in the first round? And with the last pick of the first round, a team courageous enough, bold enough, and ambitious enough said, we're not letting this guy slip to day 2. The Baltimore Ravens trade up to go get Lamar Jackson at 32, despite having already made a first-round pick. Remember, Jair Alexander, his teammate from Louisville, was doing interviews when this happened and said, whoa, what? Got up, left the interview to be there when Lamar got selected. Joe Flacco is no longer the quarterback of the future, and the Ravens had an entirely different start to the next decade. Lamar Jackson is my Hall of Fame, just to show these young quarterbacks, just if you don't go in the first couple picks doesn't mean your story's over. You can still make it happen and do it on the grandest of stages.
Traven, he was so quiet in the draft process. I loved after he got drafted, finally, he's like, I won a championship, I want to win a Super Bowl. I loved that moment. I won't forget it.
His suits are always really cool, too. He always looks great at those events. The only mistake the Ravens made was not starting him right away. He sat on the bench for a while. I don't know. 1999. The New Orleans Saints, I have a whiteboard here. The New Orleans Saints liked one player so much. Imagine this happening now. They traded all of this. Look at this. In 1999, a first, a third, no second because they already traded to the Rams for Eddie Kennison. First, a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh, and then next year's first and third. All of these picks, not only for one player, for one running back. This was being run by Mike Ditka at the time. All of this just so they could do this.
With the fifth pick in the draft, the New Orleans Saints select Ricky Williams, running back, University of Texas.
He was their only pick. They drafted one player and drafted away 7 draft picks to do it over 2 years, including 2 first-rounders, and then eventually traded Ricky 3 years later. It's the strangest draft moment I've ever seen, and that includes the Vikings getting jumped on the clock. Mike Ditka, wedding dress Ricky Williams on the cover of the magazine. There he is holding it up. The strangest draft pick transaction maybe ever.
So many wrinkles to it because the Colts took a running back before him. Edgerrin James went before him.
I know.
And then
the 99 draft was wild. From start to finish, and that was the absolute coup de grace of that 7 picks for Ricky. And then
shout out to Master P and No Limit Sports.
That was his agent.
That's another part of it.
It was a wild time
that's good.
in the NFL draft that year. About 30 minutes ago, we had Tylan Wallace on the show, wide receiver from Oklahoma State, who said when he was growing up, he was Superman. That's his favorite superhero, which prompted Kyle to ask about his origin story. How did you come about being Superman? By definition, the origin story. A backstory. Establish a background narrative, informs the identity and motivation of heroes and villains, right? Something that leaves you mentally or physically scarred that turns you into who you are.
Who you got?
You guys remember this image?
What do we got?
This is how Aaron Rodgers became Aaron Rodgers. This is his damn origin story. Everybody in the world that was watching this draft was uncomfortable for him. And I feel like he has never let this moment go. Aaron Rodgers knows how to hold a grudge. And you better believe that he sat back moment after moment as draft pick after draft pick.
That is some image.
Went up there and he knew what he was made up and what he was going to do
That's the origin.
to this league. That's his origin story. That's why I love this image, because it is motivation that he carries with him till this day.
I love it. All right, my favorite image, we will go back in recent memory to the 2018 NFL Draft in Dallas, Texas. And this is just a moment that when I think NFL Draft, round 1, I think of this.
Michigan, Detroit, I salute you. And with all that said, with the 43rd pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Carrion Johnson, running back out of Auburn. Lion blood forever.
Lion blood forever. This was an incredible moment. It was like 3 minutes long. You took the microphone, you were talking. I loved it for you. I loved how you looked. I loved what you said. It was amazing.
Yeah, I like how this has evolved. Shout out to Pat McAfee, who just went up there and just lit everybody.
Yeah.
Okariki.
Yeah.
I think Drew Pearson is the first.
Pearson was the first.
And then he came on our show and he was so happy about it. Amazing.
Yeah.
So how much time do we have left? Very little? Okay, we should just nominate one. Those are tough. I'm going to do, not mine, because mine was just funny. I wanted to show that. And I will say Aaron Rodgers. I think I'll have to give it to him. Just that photo is sort of, and it just reminds me of all the haunting he did of teams all over the NFL. Super Bowl champion, league MVP just this last year, reigning MVP. We'll see what they do in the draft. But
Shout
Aaron
out to
Rodgers,
the
this moment was
production
crazy.
team
For
during that
capturing
draft,
it?
for just watching him. They would not take the
Every
camera
sip
off of
water.
him.
I think it's a good choice. I would take exception with Nate. I do not think that is a superhero origin story. I think it's a villain origin story.
Yeah,
I think that is
agreed.
Lex Luthor and made into like a mad genius.
Exactly.
It's not a happy moment.
Exactly. That's how he became, what do you call him, Pennywise?
Good. Yeah, maybe.
That's how he became the villain.
Now he's got his eyes on Anderson Cooper, like, you will not get that Jeopardy gig. That is mine.